It's Tim again, once again, from the, oh God, what am I calling myself this week? The Indie Bands blog. And I'm heading over to New York, north of New York, in fact, to meet a band called, and you won't forget this one, Their Planes Will Block Out the Sun. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi. And I've got Vic, Wayne and Craig out of the team of 5, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
And Vic.
Vic, Wayne, Craig. Victor, Wayne, and Craig.
Good to catch up with you, because I know that you've been busy in the studio for quite a long time working on, I'm going to call it an LP, because it's 6 tracks and it's about 25 minutes long, called Brazil. Can you tell me something about how that's going, when you're planning on having it out, and what it's all about?
Well, you want to talk about the recording first. It was like a 2-year process. We started recording it in the summer, I guess about 1.5 years ago. We recorded 3 songs. We ended up redoing one of them, and we weren't really happy with everything we got there, so we went to another studio to finish out, like, the next 4 songs. And that we finished it up in the fall, and then we mixed it and everything, and pretty much put it together there.
What about the music itself that's on the LP? Does it tell a story? Is it sort of a storyline LP, or is it each track quite individual?
I think it depends on, who you ask in the band. I think we all, within the band, get something a little different out of it, To me, I do like a lot of the artwork for the band, and when I do that, I try to think of the music and what it means to me, like if there's a story being told. And I think that with our songs on this EP, or this release, I should say, there's a theme to me. And to me, I think a lot of the songs in some way deal, for me, like with escape, getting away from either out of a bad situation or heading to a new direction in life, or some kind of journey in some sense, So for me, that's what I get from it. But I don't know about everybody else. That's my take on a lot of on this release. The song like Brazil, the first song Cut and Run, even Youth and Angels. There's a theme to each song to me. And I think the theme is kind of consistent. It could be a variation on that theme from song to song, but for me, there's like a common thread that links them all together.
Yeah, I'd certainly from the name of the band. Their Planes Will Block Out the Sun. It's a very visual name, and I guess that the music that I've heard 2 of the tracks from the release. The tracks that I heard, that name for some reason, and I couldn't explain exactly what it is, but it fits so well with the mood of the music. Is the name something that you feel expresses something about who you are as musicians?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yes, because it kind of talks about like our uneasiness towards our lives and like the world, and we write songs about like our paranoia, I guess. And
right.
Yeah, I guess they have an unsettling feeling, some of the songs, but hopeful too.
Yeah, but hopeful in the paranoia.
Yeah.
I would imagine it resonates quite well with people. How do you go about sort of getting your name out? Do you have people that you work with? Are you on your own? How does that function?
Yeah, well, actually, our first record was pretty much on our own that we did in 2009, and we were just kind of learning how to be a band and play around and get our feet wet, I guess. But with this second one, I've just through, I guess, social media, I've been able to get us gigs at some interesting places, kind of like almost an art scene, and we actually, found some people in the industry and artists who wanted to work with us, liked the music, and talented people. We kind of had the same interests and tastes, And so it's working out well. So for this release coming up, we do have people working for us and promoting it, and we kind of have a little thing going. So it's been great.
People who like the music, though.
Exactly. Like, that's the most important thing. They liked it. They approached us, and it was like, oh, and we like what you do too. So
it was almost like they wanted to be a part of it. One artist who did the video for us, that's more or less what he said to Craig and I one day. He said, I know you guys are, things are happening for you, and I want to be, he really liked the music a lot. He approached us, actually, which was pretty awesome. It was like, wow, this came up to us and at a show that we did in an art gallery, actually. And I don't know, I forget what he said, but it was the sound. It just, it struck a chord with him, I guess, because he was an artist, and there were certain things, I think, that similar interests, and like we had to offer, and that was awesome, and
that's like, and he's done some posters for us for gigs. He did this video for us, kind of helps out with our visual side.
And he promotes us to his friends. He tells people about us, which is fantastic. I mean,
we've played a couple of good gigs where, not just we met people who liked us and actually wanted to help. It was actually one of those same gigs in the art gallery. We met one of our managers who is working for us now. She was, promoting gigs there. But I think she's maybe still doing that. She's also working with us, and she liked the music, but when she saw us, she said, oh, I want to be a part of this too. So that's it.
That must be quite heartening from your point of view to know that you've actually got something that's got such a draw to it that people really don't just want to listen to it; they want to be in and try and help make it happen for you.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's almost like, I don't know how to put this into words well, but we didn't cop out and take the easy route with our music. I think we kind of knew that the music we were playing and writing was not something that was going to be easily digested, that people weren't going to be able to just hear it right away. You got to invest, and I think that's what our music is. It requires a little bit of time and effort on the listener to sit and take it in. And I think that in doing that, with our first release, we kind of learned how to really craft songs the way we wanted to, that were something a little different and something a little
sure.
Something that had substance to it, not to sound arrogant, but that you could revisit and find something new and discover new things each time. And I think that when you write music like that, you kind of set yourself up. It's a much steeper hill to climb, because it's harder to get people to pay attention. It's hard. People don't want to invest that kind of time on something on the fly. They just wanted something quick and easy. So I think that was a challenge that we set up for ourselves, to say, okay, this is what we want to do. We know what we could do that people would, easily come in and be like, this is awesome. Cheap hooks and beats that are just like make people, you know what I'm talking about, because we were.
The reason I'm laughing there is that before we started the interview, we had a slight discussion about styles of music, and we went on for more than a couple of minutes about this one. So I can hear someone getting a little bit riled at the moment as we're talking, which is always a good thing. There's nothing wrong with passion.
It's not so much like get riled. I just think, for me, it's so satisfying now to see that people have, like all that work that we've done over the past couple of years have been doing this, and when you see people that want to work for you now, whereas 3 years ago we couldn't get that. We were sending things out with it was hard, and I think this time around it seems that I think it paid off for us in that sense. Like I said, we have 3 or 4 people that more or less want to be that work for us, more or less, and in that sense they want to be part of it, and that just makes you say, well, we must have done something right, because it happened in that sense, and I feel like, well, that's just the beginning, hopefully, and hopefully it'll grow from here. If these people took the time and they got into it and they said, this is really, I like this, that hopefully it'll just grow from there,
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the release, and hopefully this one will get you even further afield. There's plenty else that we could talk about, but I know that you guys are extremely busy at the moment, and I don't want to take up all your time. So thanks very much for what you have given me. But one question I do like to ask, which is meant to be helpful, but it doesn't always appear that way, is if I should ask you one final question, what is it that I should ask you that you want people to know about Their Planes Will Block Out the Sun?
Well, I would say that, this is going to sound cliche, but for me, we mean everything you hear. When you listen to our music, I mean, that's us. It's no one telling us you should do it this way, you should cut, trim this. I mean, that's us. This is our vision. This is it's our dream. It's what we've been working for years. We don't pull punches with it. We're unapologetic for our songwriting or the lengths of our songs or how we write songs. This is it. And that's how I feel. I mean, I tell people, you see people, they get into music or they get into performing for different reasons. People do it because, we're a world of narcissists now. People want to be stars. I don't think we want to be stars. I don't give a shit if anybody ever knows who Wayne Green is, but I want them to know who Their Planes Will Block Out the Sun is. So you can see my face, that doesn't matter to me. I just want to know that we're making stuff that I believe in this music more than anything I've ever done in my life, and I think the guys that I'm with, we feel the same way. And a lot of people say, well, they're the real thing. It's like, most people, when they say that, they have no idea what the real thing is, I think. And I think that that's what we are. We're just doing it ourselves, doing it the way that we think it should be done. That's quality music that will hopefully have some kind of value, that it'll last, you can come back to it. I want it to be timeless. Yeah. That you can come back in 10 years and listen to one of our songs and it could still sound relevant in that time, not something that's just a quick fix, a cheap fad, something that someone did just to catapult themselves into the limelight, and that's why we've been taking the steps we've been taking. We could have done it in an easier way, I think, writing music that we know. I mean, when you're doing it long enough, you know there's like templates that bands follow and people follow that can almost guarantee you success in that short span of time, whatever people are into at the moment, But I say fuck that, you got if you're going to do that, you're just going to make something that's like a McDonald's meal, something you're going to shit out the next day, and no one's going to care about it. You got to make something that's going to have some kind of longevity. You said, hey, this is good stuff, and that's what I want people to know. I tell people all the time, and people ask me, this sounds arrogant, and honestly, in this day and age, I don't care anymore. People say, what kind of music do you play? And I just tell them, awesome music. I don't play shit. And if you don't see that, then you're not worth it. And you don't have music. Listen to crap.
Well, that was an answer. And I know from the answer that Vic gave, it is about who you are, and the fact that you feel so passionately about it as well really is a testament to what you guys are doing. So I wish you all the best, and thanks very much for the time that you've been able to spare me this afternoon. And I'm going to play now a little closeout of one of your songs. I'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much.